You can come closer. I know you're there. Closer, closer. I won't bite. There you are. My, I must say, you seem rather dumbstruck. Is this your first time meeting a kitsune? I suppose I can't blame you. Even those used to supernatural creatures like myself are often astonished at the number of my tales. It's rather flattering, if I do say so. Fear not. You may stare at them if you like. I'm quite used to it by now. Oh, so I am the first kitsune you've met. Strange. I could have sworn you seemed familiar. Ah, well, I am honored to be your first to meet. So then, what brings you all the way to my domain? I don't get many visitors here, this deep in the forest. Certainly not humans, anyway. Oh, an apprentice mage, are we? How impressive. Well, by human standards, I think. It's been a while. Allow me to guess. You're trying to make a contract with a familiar, am I right? I cannot imagine why else you'd come here. Unless you truly wanted to meet a supernatural creature purely for the sake of it. That's what I thought. And I suspect you're searching for a kitsune in particular to be your familiar, No boorish werewolf or slippery lamia or some such would do. How did I know? Why, it's written all over you. I can tell from your aura, you see. Everyone's aura is a unique identifier, much like a fingerprint. And you have the exact same aura as my old master when he was still alive. He was a touch obsessed with having a kitsune familiar, which means you must be as well. The grin on your face was a bit of a giveaway, too. Yes, that's right. You are the very same soul as my old master, his reincarnation. There's no doubt in my mind. I could never mistake your aura. Oh, it's been so long. I was worried at first that perhaps I was mistaken, and it was simply nostalgia, but your aura is just as I remember it, darling. Sweet and thick as honey, yet light as a gentle mist on my skin. And the aroma of freshly cut fruits, heady but not cloying. If you were a bit more skilled with magic, you would be able to experience it. And my aura, too. But you will learn in time. It took me a while myself back then to learn how to detect your aura so thoroughly. Months of training alongside you under our contract. It was worth it, though. That moment I experienced our bond on an entirely new level. I'd never felt such bliss. I can tell you are a bit skeptical. You meet a kitsune deep in the forest, and suddenly she claims to be your familiar from a past life. Could anything be more dubious? But I can prove it. Prove that I really am yours. Your body may have changed, but its language is still the same. And in it I read that much of you is still the master I once knew. So let's have a little test, shall we? I will show you that I know you more deeply than you even know yourself. Come here, to my garden. You see these bushes? And their berries. This variety is blue, this one red, and that one black. Do you know what they are called? Really? You don't? How ironic. You always used to poke fun at me for forgetting their names. It was a bit of a running joke between us. Well, how fun that I can be the one to teach you this time. The blue is called sageberry. If you try that one, you'll find that it is your favorite fruit in the whole world. Which is a bit strange, since usually it's a rather unpopular berry. I think that just makes your taste more refined, my dear. I developed a taste for it myself, just so I could be more like you. The red is called dalberry, and if you try it, you'll find it to be perfectly palatable. Perhaps. You always said the taste of dalberries was inconsistent. Sometimes they could nearly rival sedgeberries, yet other times they were merely so-so. You may want to try a few of them to see. Lastly, there's the black ones, lounsberries. I don't think you'll want to try more than one. They were always your least favorite. You said you had no idea how people ate them. Whenever you described a food as disgusting, you'd say it tasted like lounsberry. All right then, let me pick a few for you. Here you are. Give them a try, and let me know just how right I am. See? Oh, I knew I was right just from your face. And also that you spat out the lounsberry. I'll have to pick more sedgeberries for you, dear. You made such short work of them. But now do you believe me? That I truly know you? How else could I have known exactly how you would react to each one? Not to mention knowing about your Kitsune obsession. Oh, you poor thing. That look. It's the one you always wore when you were starved for touching my tails. I know that to you, we've only just met, but to me, there is no one I could trust more. So please, darling, go on. Touch them. Fluff them all you want. There you go. Oh, it's been far too long since I've seen that glorious expression of yours. You always drooled like a baby when you touched my tails. Oh, don't worry, I'm not poking fun. It's not something to be embarrassed about. I'm glad you have something that makes you happy, especially when that something is me. Oh, how I've missed moments like these. Every night when we would fall asleep, you would always cuddle up to my tails, whether you hugged them or used them as a pillow. I used to joke that they were your tails, with how obsessed you were and the comfort they gave you. Especially on your deathbed. Your final moments were with my tails. I've missed you, darling. So very much. All these long years without you. These long years of being so terribly alone. Human lives are but a fraction of my own. I knew that, yet I was always in denial. Even when your skin grew wrinkled, when your hair gave over to gray, I chose not to see it. I told myself that we'd always have a few more years together. Then, as reality closed in, I told myself a few more months, a few more weeks, a few more days, until the final lie I told myself was that surely you had a few more moments left with me. But then, you were gone. You died right there in my arms. But that doesn't matter now. You're here. You're alive, so maybe I don't need to accept that reality anymore. I know I've always loved you too much for my own good, Master. I can call you that, can't I? Master? I've always loved calling you Master. It reinforces our bond, our connection, our contract. Oh, Master, I want to feel that connection again. I know perhaps it's rushing things, but can we? Can we make a contract again? Right here, right now. I don't want to suffer a single second more of this distance from you. We've been separated for so long. We have so much to make up for. Shouldn't we start as soon as possible? Oh, wonderful! Oh, Master, I could get drunk on your words alone. You always knew how to please me. We'll finally be together again. Just the two of us. What? What do you mean, not just the two of us? You want another familiar? You want more than just me? Aren't I enough? Everything I learned under the tutelage of your past self and everything I have endured since has made me more powerful than you can possibly imagine. My flames can melt steel as though it were mere wax. My illusions are so real you can touch them, smell them, taste. I practiced for so long with your image, after all. I could bend the will of kings with the snap of my fingers. Oh, but I'd never do that to you, darling. Just think, in time, I'll grow even stronger. What is it about me that is not enough? I'll change it. Is it my looks? Do you not care for this face? My gender? I can maintain my illusions indefinitely, my darling. I can appear however you desire. Please, anything, just tell me that only I am yours. You will not, then. This cannot be. Every day you told me, you promised me that I was the only one you ever needed. It seems I cannot change your mind. Very well. As you wish. If this is the only way for me to be with you again, then I must accept it. So then, let us perform the ritual contract. You do have the magic inks, yes? 1 silver and 1 gold with which to sign the contract. And the contract itself. Excellent. It looks like your tuition wasn't a waste. Here, give me the gold one. What? No. The familiar uses the gold ink to sign. The master uses the silver ink. Well, your teachers were mistaken then. The gold ink represents an offering to the familiar, to signify their value to their potential master. It is a sign of respect. I, and creatures like myself, am far more powerful than any mere human, after all. Why should I ever form a contract with a master who does not show me the proper respect? You're still uncertain. Consider that silver represents purity. In this case, the purity of the master's intentions for their familiar. The contract binds us to serve under the master's will. We must know that we can trust that intent. That is why the master uses the silver ink. No, I'm sorry, but that is wrong. The mnemonic device goes like this. Gold for the familiar, as treasured as the sun. Silver for the master, whose will of steel be done. Darling, I don't know how to say this politely, so I'm going to be blunt. Which of us has lived longer? Which of us has more experience? And which of us has performed a familiar contract before? Thank you. Here, give me the ink and contract. I do have a pretty signature, don't I? Now, you sign with the silver ink. And... done. Now, let me see your hand. Ah, what a beautiful mark. And look, I have one to match. So you do know which is which. Yes, I'm afraid the one on your hand is the mark of the familiar, which makes mine the master's. What I said was that I would never control your will, and I didn't. I did not use any magical influence on you whatsoever. I'm so very sorry to have tricked you like this, darling, but you didn't leave me much choice. It's not truly your fault. You're so young. Why, you practically just started your current life. You're still just an apprentice mage. There's so much you don't know. You're bound to make mistakes. So it's my duty as your mentor to set them straight. I can't sit back and let you ruin your life because you're going through a phase now, can I? I am not going to let you be miserable because your fairy familiar pulled the 5th prank on you this week, or because your Neko is once again being an insufferable little... well, you know how they are. I can't let you suffer like that, Master. Well, I suppose that I am the Master now. And since I am the Master, you won't be able to form a contract with anyone else. Not to mention, you'll be under my authority. I'll try not to abuse it. Oh, you poor thing. You look like you're still in shock. Is this all a bit too much to process? It's all right, my dear. You needn't think too hard on it. You needn't do anything, really. Now that we're connected as one once more, I shall take care of everything. You don't remember it, but we amassed quite a fortune together, you and I. And it has only grown since. I can treat you, spoil you even. You can have as many sedgeberries as you like, the finest clothes, everything you'll need to continue studying magic. Whatever your dear little heart desires, within reason. Oh, but you'll never have to work, darling. You can stay by my side all day and fluff my tails if you wish. It'll be paradise. Not just for you, but for me too. Although we Kitsune live for such a long time, that endless march of years can become a lonesome curse. Unless you find the right person to spend it with. And you're that person, my love. Even fate agrees. It has sent you to me. We can finally have our happily ever after. Well, until you die again. But then I can simply find you in your next life. And when you die that time, I'll find you again, and again, and again, as many times as it takes. I'll never let death keep us apart again, darling. I'll never let anything keep us apart. We'll be together. Forever.